Next on Arizona 360, emerging dangers in the state's opioid crisis.
The fentanyl increases are significant and they're scary.
A mother support a powerful weapon in her son's battle with addiction.
There's so many parents out there that are lost.
A track cemented in horse racing history and the hurdles overcome to keep it open today.
If we were going to build a racetrack today, would we put it here?
Hello and welcome to Arizona 360. I'm Lorraine Rivera. Thank you for joining us. For the second year, Arizona's opioid epidemic brought together law enforcement leaders and healthcare professionals tasked with combating the crisis. The Arizona Opioid Summit in Tempe happened the same week the state provided $2 million to help make treatment options more widely available. It's part of the Opioid Epidemic Act, signed into law less than a month ago. Before we take you to the summit, we want to show you how this crisis tested one mom's devotion to her son when his addiction threatened to tear their family apart.
Been the addict, I've been the dealer, I've been the, every little aspect of it. I've been, I transported it, I've sold it, I've used it.
And tell me about your clientele.
It went from everyone. It went from cheerleaders to surgeons to just regular average Joe people. Everybody. It has no discrimination.
Stevie Smith's addiction to opioids began when he was in middle school. The 29-year-old says he started taking painkillers to endure beatings from his biological father, who had prescription pills for injuries related to his career as a bull rider. From there, his dependency on the drug escalated. What would those things do for you?
Just, I don't know, just put me on another level. I'm just happy, feel good, not worried about nothing. I got the endorphins going, just trying to have a fun time. And it didn't really sink into me until I started, not taking them, and I'll get sick, till I started realizing, like, oh, what the hell? I didn't want to feel weak by trying to have somebody help me. So yeah, there's a lot of that thinking you could do it by yourself, but it's damn near impossible. You need the help, you need the support.
Support came from Stevie's mom, Tammy Jamison. The mother of three says she first suspected her son had a problem about 10 years ago when he complained about back pain.
So I gave him some Vicodin and I watched him eat it like it was a
Just
Tic
like
Tac.
food, like I just
He
crushed.
just put it in his mouth and chewed it.
Did your back really hurt, Stevie?
No, I was probably going through a little withdrawal, probably.
Yeah, because you ended up taking how many hot baths that night and showers,
Oh, yeah,
and
so I
you
was
were
going through
telling me
withdrawal.
something was up, and I was like, no, the hot water's for his back.
Stevie's stepfather, Gary Jamison, knew the red flags all too well. For nearly 20 years, he was addicted to methamphetamines, a habit he kicked before meeting Tammy. Gary says he tried warning her about Stevie early on.
At first, she kind of just didn't want to believe it, but, she loves her son, so she's going to stick up for him before she takes any advice from somebody else. And I know it's hard because she really loves him. She loves all of her kids.
Do you think that maybe you had your head in the sand?
Oh, absolutely. I had it in the sand a lot. The denial or the excuses to
Nobody wants to know
friends
their
and
kid's
family.
addicted to heroin. Nobody wants to know that their beloved child is strung out. It's a tough pill to swallow.
Over the years, he has survived multiple opioid overdoses. Tammy, what's that like when your son is going through this, he's overdosing, and you actually thought you might lose him?
Yeah. I already had come to, I wouldn't say the peace with it, but I was prepared for the phone call that I would be planning his funeral.
So it seems like you are his advocate now, but for a while there, did you sort of say, I need to stay away from this because I can't handle it?
No.
It's a lot to put up with.
It is, but I did it. I mean, I lost sleep, got a little bit physically unhealthy.
Stevie was released from prison, his second stint in recent years for crimes related to his drug use. During his last sentence, both Tammy and her son turned a corner with their approach to his addiction.
He got into trouble and went higher maximum security. And I found out that he had used and dropped dirty. And I think I kind of walked around in a haze for about 6 months. And then that's when I finally said, I'm not helping him.
You had started to disconnect from him.
I did, because there was no communication. So it made it easier to start fixing myself at that point, to be able to learn how to say no.
I don't know, it's never a good thing to hear from your mom that if she were to get the call that you died, she wouldn't cry. She's so prepared for it. I finally focused and realized where I was. I'm in this cell by myself, and I just really thought about, what got me to that point.
You've been out for 4 months now? And when Mom said you're coming to live with me and Gary, how'd that feel?
It was huge because I didn't think I was gonna get another chance to come back with them. I thought that first time was it.
That was actually Gary saying, bring him home. I was finally like, okay, halfway house, sober living. First time we were on opposite sides of that page.
Gary, why open your doors to him?
Because I saw the change. You can tell when somebody's ready because their maturity level.
Tammy, he had put you through quite a bit, caused a lot of agony in your life. Is it risky? I mean, do you think that this is risky, taking him back in?
There's still times if he's quiet, I'm looking at him like, why is he quiet? Why are you sleepy? But I think that's gonna be work in progress for sure.
Stevie, you think about that long road ahead with gaining your mom and dad's trust back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, I messed up a lot in the 10 years. I messed up a lot. Pulled the rug from under them more than once.
I mean, you realize that you could have died.
Oh, yeah. Numerous times. Like, I don't want to say we make a joke about it, but, like, everybody likes to say my guardian angel has been put on, I owe her lives. Like, I didn't expect to get over 25. At one point it's 21, then it was 25. And, yeah, I know people that were just, first time using a single drug and they overdosed and died. It's where I'm over at Dad's door, knocking on the door, and I'm still here and they're gone. So, like, it became a thing, like, I'm gonna die soon. It's gonna happen. Why run from it?
You're spared. You're meant to do big things in life.
Obviously, because everything that I've overcame and why I'm still here obviously means something.
The family knows a relapse could happen at any time. Stevie says he's taking his sobriety day by day, one goal at a time, like getting off parole, getting a job, getting full custody of his 3-year-old son, Ian. Tammy says she considers each day her son stays clean a victory.
Tammy, there are probably moms who are out there watching this and, forming their judgment, but you said something earlier about you can't always be the helicopter mom.
It's more of a hindrance than it is a help, because if he's not learning, I'm not allowing him to grow.
You've really become an advocate as well.
I'm trying.
Tell me about that.
I know that there's so many parents out there that are lost. They don't know what to do or where to turn. And there's so many resources out there that can help them get healthy mentally in order to help their child.
How significant is this problem? I mean, we hear about it, and thankfully today you're putting a face to it, but this is real.
Addiction does not discriminate. It gets the rich, the poor, it doesn't matter what race you are or what financial class you are in.
Every single neighborhood of this city, it's everywhere. One person can beat it. This person over here is not going to beat it, but you're going to have every day somebody getting addicted. Every day you're going to have a new group. And heroin's going to be here for a long time. It's just people really need to start opening their eyes to it.
Addressing the current epidemic was at the top of the mind this week for the 400 or so attendees at the second annual Arizona Opioid Summit. They range from community advocates to law enforcement and treatment specialists. During the summit, I spoke to Dr. Bennett Davis, the pain program director at Sierra Tucson. He explained how widespread opioid use has ties to what he calls the trauma epidemic.
What we've realized is a lot of people with chronic pain are really people who have depression, anxiety, and have a history of trauma that has kind of changed the way their nervous system works, so that they have back pain, they have headaches, they have pain all over. But they really don't have anything wrong with their back or tissues that would explain that. They have a nervous system that, because of trauma in their past, is amplifying all the feelings to their brain and telling their brain pain, 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 when there's really nothing we can fix in the tissues.
How are we defining trauma?
In the context of what we're talking about, trauma would be life-threatening events, events that a person perceives as threat to life and limb, either one major one or multiple over time. And it can be to one's own self, or it can be witnessing things. Even in pain clinics, even in addiction medicine clinics, typically we haven't been screening for trauma. Now we're just starting to do that, and we're saying, oh my gosh, and we're doing research on people who struggle, and we're finding that 15–20% of them have severe trauma. So this is sort of the mind-body connection taken to a new level. We're talking more about what exactly does that mean, mind-body. What it means is our experiences can actually change our biology, particularly experiences during childhood, particularly traumatic experiences. I'll give you a statistic. People who have a pretty good dose of developmental trauma, childhood trauma, on average will live 20 years less than an average American. They die 20 years earlier. So it's lethal. And I'm not talking about suicide, I'm not talking about high-risk behaviors such as smoking. When you take those out of the picture, they have a shorter lifespan. Why? Because their biology has changed. They just won't survive as long.
Is this problem about to get worse or more prevalent?
I don't think it'll get worse. I think we might have seen the worst of it. Again, in the context of the opioid epidemic, we tried an experiment. We didn't know we were doing it. As opioids were marketed as good for chronic pain, aggressively, as we all know, over-aggressively, right? As that was going on, a lot of healthcare providers were prescribing opioids when a patient said, I hurt, and continuing it. Mixed in with that population were a lot of these traumatized people who realized, okay, opioid makes me feel better for now, kind of numbs me out, and I'm gonna keep taking it. And a lot of them don't have, by the way, addiction disorders. So we accumulated all these people, millions of people, getting opioid for psychological issues. So opioid sort of is a psychological psychotropic medication, like an anxiety or depression medication. And people hearing this will go, wow, that was a bad idea if we really did that. But we did, and now we're digging ourselves out of that.
Special agent in charge of the Phoenix Division for the Drug Enforcement Administration, Doug Coleman, says Arizona's proximity to the border contributes to the state's problem.
So I think that we're more at risk because we're looking at the Sinaloa cartel every day, and we're the first stop for all the drugs coming in.
For years, heroin represented one of the most dangerous and deadly drugs in Arizona. Then fentanyl numbers grew. Last year, law enforcement in Arizona seized 219 pounds of it, quadrupling the 2016 figures. Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid used to treat severe pain, oftentimes in cancer patients. It can be up to 100 times more potent than morphine.
The cartels have now realized that we're looking for the fentanyl, so they're changing the products up. We see fake fentanyl, we see fentanyl that's designed to look like OxyContin that's being sold out there, fake fentanyl that's designed to look like Xanax. We've seen some of those. So what happens is people are taking these products, and sometimes they take the product and they don't even realize they're taking fentanyl. And so they're taking these products and they're dying. And again, fentanyl, remember, 50 to 100 times stronger than morphine. It doesn't take much to kill somebody with fentanyl, and unfortunately people are getting caught up in this and getting addicted to it and then taking something that, you know, that a doctor will tell you it doesn't take much to put you down, unfortunately.
And there are people who are upset with law enforcement saying, why can't you take this stuff off the streets?
Yeah, I mean, and that's a legit, that's part of the reason that we're having this conference here today, right? Law enforcement is a piece, and we're doing everything that we can, but treatment, addiction services, prevention, those are all incredibly important. If we can lower the number of people that we have that are addicted to these substances, then we lower the demand and we lower the amount that the Mexican cartels will produce, right? It all comes back to that. The less people that want it, the less they'll produce. They're all about making money. They're making so much and pushing so much across now because they're making a boatload of money behind it because we have so many people that are addicted to these substances.
As we mentioned before, Tammy Jamison, whom you met in our first story, now advocates for increased awareness of opioid addiction. That includes distributing overdose prevention kits containing the drug naloxone. We asked her to show us how these kits can be used to save a life.
So what you have in each kit is there's 2 doses. There's 2 that are, there's already 2 in here. And they are already have exactly what you need in them. So there's no measuring, each one is a solid dose. Okay, so the way you're going to tell if someone is overdosing is that they might be a little bit gray in color, their lips are blue, perhaps they're not breathing, they're not responding. You want to take your knuckles real hard to the center of their chest, roll it. If there's no response, then you're definitely going to want to give them a dose. So you've got 2 syringes, 1 for each vial. You're just going to pop off the lid, fill the injection. You can either inject it arm muscle, leg muscle, right through the clothes if need be. You're going to do rescue breathing for about 2 minutes. If they're still not responding, you're going to give them the second dose. Rescue breathing. By then, 911, your first responders should be there. That's usually about 5 minutes, because you call 911, obviously, right away. Then you're going to lay them on their side because they will get very ill. They're not going to be happy with you when they wake up because they're going to be sick.
But they'll be alive.
They will be alive. So you want to make sure that you still have 911. You have your emergency on the way, because as fast as the Narcan goes into your body is as fast as it can leave. And they're at risk of overdosing an hour later once it's out of their system.
Now this costs a little bit of money, but if you have insurance, what's the price that you end up paying?
You can't put a price on life, but you can also reach out to Sonoran Prevention Works, and they do give them out for free. They will give you as many as you need. You can sign up to become a volunteer distributor, and it only works on opiates. It's not going to work on meth, it's not going to work on marijuana, it's not going to work on alcohol overdose, nothing like that. It's all opiates. So if you know anyone that is affected by addiction, get one of these in their hands. Get 2 of them in their hands.
And you want every law enforcement officer to have access to this.
Absolutely.
Thankfully, you never had to do this to your son.
Thankfully.
You don't have a medical background, so why go through all this?
Because I still have my son. That's exactly why, because not many parents are as lucky. Okay. Not many family members will be as blessed as we are that we still have my son.
As Tammy said, Sonoran Prevention Works offers free naloxone kits. In a year, they gave away nearly 32,000 of them. You can get more information on their website, spwaz.org. Arizona recently received federal approval to develop proposals that could lead to work requirements for some Medicaid recipients, and that's led to some pushback from civil advocacy groups. Currently, Arizona has a request in to get some federal Medicaid rules waived so it can implement new eligibility requirements for what it considers able-bodied adults between 19 and 55 years old. Things like working or attending school for at least 20 hours a week. More than a dozen exemptions applied. I asked Governor Ducey's health advisor, Christina Corrieri, to explain why Arizona is interested in rolling out these requirements.
I think the reason people are looking at this now is because we had done work requirements for most welfare programs back in the 90s. So we did them for cash welfare, known as TANF, and also for food stamps for able-bodied adults. So some people might ask why we didn't do Medicaid then. We didn't do Medicaid then because it was a different program then. Medicaid in the 1990s was largely for elderly, poor, for the disabled, for children, and for pregnant women. You didn't have able-bodied adults who were on the program. The program has evolved, and that's why it continues to evolve with new waivers like this.
There are already able-bodied adults who are working and receiving Medicaid.
Arizona expanded Medicaid like several other states. That brought the program eligibility up to 138% of the federal poverty level, whether you were able-bodied or not.
Outside of the emotional component, are there some other challenges that you would anticipate with this with this requirement?
Well, I think first we have to explain the requirement to people, right? You have a lot of folks that think this applies to everybody. That is absolutely not true. This is a very narrowly crafted work requirement that applies only to able-bodied adults between the ages of 19 and 55. Furthermore, it provides many exceptions even within that group. So if you're going to school, if you're going to a work training program, if you are a caretaker of a young child, if you're the caretaker of a disabled relative or an elderly relative, there are exceptions built in for that.
Why do you suppose this is being met with such resistance?
I think change is always scary for people. I think people always assume that it's going to affect everybody, and that's not true. You have people who have legitimate disabilities who can't go back to work. We understand that. I think they might not yet understand that this won't apply to them. So some of this is just communication, and we'll be working on that.
If this goes through, how does it change the state? What sorts of things will be different?
Well, if it goes through, we'll be helping get people refocused on how can we get them back to work. We'll be incentivizing people to re-enter the labor market, and that's a good thing.
This month, 21 organizations wrote a letter asking the Health and Human Services Secretary to reject Arizona's waiver request. Rose Daly Rooney is legal director for the Arizona Center for Disability Law, which signed that letter. She explained some of the chief concerns.
People with disabilities, people who are on these programs, many of them do want to work, and they actually do work. I mean, studies have shown that many people work who are Medicaid eligible, and that actually having these benefits helps them be able to work. Because if you can manage your health care and you can stay on top of your health, it's easier to maintain employment. It also shows that when people don't have good health care and can't manage their health care, they lose their job.
Are the exemptions perhaps too broad or maybe not detailed enough?
What strikes us in part about Arizona's system is that it does include 14 exemptions. It creates a reporting requirement that is going to be very difficult. For example, what if you have multiple employers? What if you do contract work or independent contractor work, and then you can't establish that you're working at least 20 hours a week during some things? You get knocked off your coverage, and then your health care suffers. And also, Arizona has requested a waiver to be able to, instead of one time a year proving you're eligible, having to prove you're eligible 2 times a year. When you live at the edge of poverty, doing paperwork for the government is one of your lower priorities, and we're afraid that people who actually meet these requirements will be cut off from coverage because they can't keep up with the paperwork. Where do they go when things exacerbate? They go to emergency rooms. And so then federal and state taxpayers are paying for those public hospitals to provide emergency care.
You know, for some, this conversation may seem very black or white. You're either for it or you're against it. Are there things that people should consider as they're watching these discussions unfold?
This is as I've heard said by others, a solution seeking a problem. There isn't a problem here in terms of people finding work and attempting to find work. And the obstacles that do pose the difficulties in finding work for that percentage who are looking for work and have been able to find it are not going to be served by harsh penalties that kick people off of coverage.
Quarter horse racing returned this month to the Rillito Park racetrack for its 75th year. The sport's origins in Tucson date to before World War II, and as Nancy Montoya reports, for much of that time a battle has ensued over the track and the land it's built on.
I bet you've passed this horse stable and house along River Road hundreds of times and never noticed it obscured behind the trees and a large wall.
Anyway, these stalls are just super interesting.
We now leave 2018 and step back 80 years to 1938. This is the stable that launched the Rillito Park quarter horse races in Tucson.
And within 3 years, every world champion came from this stable.
I'm Jay Wells. I'm president of the Rillito Park Foundation, chairman of Rillito Racing, Inc., and chairman of the Heirloom Farmers Market.
We'll go back to 1938 with Jay Wells in a moment. But first, it's important to understand that today Wells heads up the nonprofit that helps Pima County manage the 78 acres of the Rillito Park at River and First Avenue. For almost 5 decades, Tucson's past, present, and future have been in locked combat over this park. Horse racing was first. Then came the soccer fields, then the farmers market, all battling for a piece of the park. And for nearly 80 years, the little stable and its powerful history have sat silent, frozen in time. Now back to the 1930s with Jay Wells.
All of the ironwork, these doors going into the stable area, all of the entrance doors into the house, etc., were done in Mexico and brought up. And these adobe actually came near Santa Ana, which is south of Magdalena. And so you imagine back in the 30s hauling all that material up here.
The home and the stables belonged to the Jelks family and were finished in 1940. By 1942, Jelks and several partners were well established as quarter horse stud breeders. The Jelks decided to plow through cactus and desert landscape to build a racetrack in the backyard. Today's Rillito track is just 50 yards from the still-standing Jelks home. In the 1950s, the Jelks hacienda and the stables were sold to the Shoemakers. Mary Shoemaker would live in it until her death in 2007. Now, in the 1980s, a battle broke out over the park. Tucson was growing. Some wanted to close the racetrack, then considered by many an eyesore. Developers wanted to buy the land, and others wanted to tear down everything and put in parks instead. Pima County closed it and put it up for sale. In 1982, we reported on the story.
The starting gate will not open, and the thoroughbreds will not be racing down this track this season. The Pima County Board of Supervisors today made it clear Rillito Downs is a money loser, and they want to get rid of it.
In the 1980s, the land alone was worth around $6 million. But earnings from the track were only around $13,000. Southern Arizona's equine community would not go quietly into the night. They maintained that you can't put a dollar sign on history, culture, and tradition. Supporters of Rillito stormed the Board of Supervisor meetings by foot and by hoof.
They have not answered any of our questions. They have not made clear any of their reasons for selling this property, which was donated to them to begin with. They didn't have to buy this property.
Public outrage ruled the day. The park was closed but not sold. It reopened a few years later and hobbled along into the 1990s. This time, it was the soccer community that wanted the racetrack and the surrounding acreage.
My name is Ted Schmidt, and I'm the president of the Pima County Junior Soccer League and the president of Tucson Soccer Academy.
More kids then and even today are signing up to play soccer than basketball, football, and baseball combined.
It's huge. It's the fastest growing sport in America, and particularly here in southern Arizona.
Schmidt and his allies would prove an even greater adversary than developers, and members of the Pima County Board of Supervisors were listening to both sides. County Administrator Chuck Huckleberry said the county was being asked to choose the past over the present and the future.
The history is one that is different today than the history of when it was first built. When it was first built in the 1940s, this was out in the middle of the country. There were no houses around it. There was no commercial development. And so the community has evolved over time and almost enveloped it.
Youth sports group have nothing against horse racing. It's just, location, location, location. When this horse track was built, there were 27,000 people living in Tucson, and it was at the end of a dirt road. If we were going to build a racetrack today, would we put it here?
We stand here today.
Enter Jay Wells again. He discovered there were more than two sides. There was a third, and that third voice had been silent for decades. Remember the Jelks house and stable? Not a doorknob, not a beam, not a brick had been touched all these years. It had been preserved in almost the same condition it was back in the 1940s.
So when I discovered the Jelks house on the property, I saw that as the third leg of a stool, meaning that there was another entity to bring in the arts and the culture and the history.
Wells is quick to mention that there is now a fourth entity that has come to play at the park, the University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program.
One, I don't think many people understand that the U of A has the premier program in the world, and trainers such as Bob Baffert, Todd Pletcher, and more importantly, I believe the latest statistic is 80% of all tracks in the world have a U of A alum somehow on their staff.
Today, a delicate ceasefire has been called.
We raised a little over $800,000, completely rebuilt the track. We restored the Jelks house. They're almost finishing touches of converting the stable to the Rillito Horse Racing Heritage Museum. And this is the birthplace of quarter horse racing, and the entire park, including the Jelks property, is now listed on the National Register.
That means an ability to raise more funds to preserve the entire 78-acre park.
We think that it's a win-win-win for everybody concerned.
Wells says it's almost as if the past, that little stable and house long forgotten by many, has stretched out a hand to help maintain the present and build the future.
That's all for this week. If you have any feedback, email us at arizona360@azpm.org. Thank you for joining us, and a happy belated birthday to Arizona, which marked 106 years of statehood on Wednesday.